Hi friends, welcome to Shiko Hope TV. My name is Shiko Hope and here we say inawezekana. If you're new here, welcome to this channel. Share this video, watch, comment and subscribe. Remember to hit the notification bell so every time I post a new video you get notified. For those people who are my usual subscribers and viewers, welcome back. Here we say inawezekana. And for sure, inawezekana. Once again, I'm back with a new video, an interesting video, informing you something you guys have been asking me to cover this one. And here I am today. We are going to look at we're going to look at how to get a host. As you can see from the title, it is how to get a host. So if you don't have a host, watch this video to the end and you will know where to get a host. Okay? Before we continue, I want to make a disclaimer. I'm not an agent. I'm not a travel agent. I'm not an expert. I'm just a YouTuber who has been to USA. I give you information from my real life experience. I'm not an expert, so some of the questions you ask me, I don't have an idea. When I give you that answer, no idea, just no, I don't know. I'm not an expert. I just have some little knowledge that I know I share with you guys, okay? So, I'm not an expert. I just want to emphasize on I'm not an expert. Some of those questions, I have no idea. What I tell you is what I know. I don't want to mislead you. That's why I tell you no idea. If I have an information according to your question, I help you. If I don't know, I tell you no idea. Don't feel offended. Just know I don't know. Just know I don't know. So I'm not an expert. I'm not a travel agent because most people are inbox me, Shiko, can you give me green card? I don't give green cards. I don't give green cards, but I know there are green cards because I was given. I don't give green cards. People are like, Shiko, can you connect me with a Mzungu there? I don't do that. I don't do that. I don't connect people with Mzungus. Me too, I don't have a Mzungu, so I don't do that, guys. Let us be serious with this. And if I tell you, have no idea, just know I don't have any idea. People, let's go right to the video. Let's how this one will go. Now, people have been into my inbox. I have to say that every time I'm doing a video because I do this video due to public demand. I know I have covered this, but I didn't go into details, but this is specifically on how to get a host. Who is a host? Why do we need a host? Let's see. Let's see how this goes. Okay, who is a host? A host is someone who is in the United States of America, who is willing to accommodate you once your visa has been approved. This will give you a shelter. This person will show you around until you adjust, until you get a job, until you get your own apartment. That person is a host. Okay, is it necessary to have a host? Many people have been asking me, I don't want to go to anyone's house. Can I get a hotel? I stay in a hotel until I get an apartment, etc. And I'm like, yes, it is necessary and it is very important to have a host. Why? Who will pick you from the airport? Who will show you around? Even if you have money, do you know anywhere you will go once you are cleared? in the airport. Do you know where you will go from there? You can take an Uber and go anywhere, but just imagine all the way from your country to come here, to go to a hotel, pay every day. It is not cheap. A host is so important. A host is very important. This person will accommodate you, will take you to your job interviews, will take you to apply for your social security. This person is very important. Guys, a host is a very important person. He will give you his or her address so that once your social security is ready, it will be mailed to your host's place. That's where you will get your social. That's where your green card will be mailed. The address. That is the address you will give to the government so they can mail your social and your green card. Now imagine living in a hotel. Where will your green card be mailed to? Guys, a host is a very important person in your American journey. Address. And the address, actually, for the address, you will start using address while still you are in Kenya or in your country. Once you are filing a DS-260, you will have to put your host address. Yes. So even if you feel you are so rich or wealthy, you will stay in a hotel, you don't have any address to fill in that DS-260. You have to look for a host. Okay. Now, here is the problem. Many people into my inbox. I don't have a relative there. I don't know anybody here or anybody in America. Now, I don't have a friend. I don't have a host. Where will I get a host? Many people have that question. They were asking me that question. Where will I get a host? I told you in the other video, and I will repeat. You don't have a relative here. Maybe you have a friend. If you don't, you have a friend who is here. If you don't have a friend who is here, I told you what to do. Go to Facebook. Search for Kenyans living in USA. There are so many groups there. You can search of all the states. Kenyans living in Texas, join those groups. Kenyans living in New York. Kenyans living in California. Kenyans living in Georgia. Kenyans living those states. Search those groups on Facebook. Search those groups now when you're still in Kenya or in your country. Search those groups now. Go to those groups. Start creating relationship there. Start learning things there. Once you get selected, just post in those groups. I am selected for green card. I don't have a host. Is anyone willing to host me? Can anyone offer to host me? Post in those groups. You can't miss to get a host. You have to get a host. Definitely. People here, they can't allow that chance to go away. They can't allow. You have to look for a host because the host is an important person in your American journey. Go to those groups. Search. Go to those groups, all of them, 50 states. Search there. Whichever, wherever, post there. Once you got selected, once you get selected, just post there, because you need that host immediately you get selected. For you to fill DS260, you need a host. You need your host's details. Once you get selected, post in those groups, I am selected. I don't have a host. Can anyone offer to be my host? And you will find a host in those groups. We have good people. We have good people in this planet. They will give you all the information you need. They will host you, okay? Yes, I know a friend of mine who did that. And he got a very good host. Actually, a very good host. A very good host. There's some good people. We still have some good people. Go to those groups, search, and don't come here and ask me, Shiko, which groups did you say? Listen, search for Kenyans in United States of America, Kenyans in diaspora, Kenyans in Texas, Kenyans in New York, Kenyans in Georgia, Kenyans in Missouri, Kenyans in Kansas, Kenyans in everywhere. Those states, search for those groups. Go to those groups. Start interacting with people there. And do the necessary. Once you get selected, post there in those groups and you find a good host. I know a friend who did that. And actually it is a family. They got a very good host. God's plans are not our plans. So never give up because you don't have a host. You have to look for one. Okay? Okay? People have been telling me, Shiko, can you host me? Shiko, can you host me? Actually, even if I'm so good, I can't host all of you. I can't host all of you. So look for your host in those groups. Okay? Okay? Yes. I'm giving you this information because I love you and I care for you. I'm very caring. That's why I decided to cover this hosting topic alone. Yes, I want you to get a host. You have to look for a host. It is not easy. Go to those groups. Post there. Post there. You'll find a host and you will be grateful you got one. Now, how can you do when you got a host? When you get a host from those groups, what to do? Start a relationship with your host. You have to message that person, DM that person. Start relationship. Socialize with your host. Okay? Socialize. Tell that person, I am so and so. I come from this place. Start socializing with your host. Create a relationship. Create a relationship with that person, with your host. Because he has offered to host you, start a relationship. Tell him, I'm single, I'm married, I have a family, everything. Create a relationship. Be friends with your host. Ask question. But it is not in the first day. Oh, thank you for offering to be my host. Now, how is life there? No, go slowly. Stop rushing things. Things will fall in place. Okay, once you have known your host, you have introduced yourself, you have a background, everything. Now you are friends. The host now is your friend. Now, you can ask questions as the time goes by. You can ask questions about, how can you advise me? Can I go for driving back here, or is not necessary I can come? You just ask your host. Ask your host. I don't know how to drive. Can I start here, or like it's not important? I can come to America and your host will give you a good answer. If he tells you, I will teach you, It's okay. It's okay. But in any chance you get a chance to learn driving in Kenya or in your country, just grab that chance. Just grab that chance. Don't come here like myself. I didn't know how to drive. I didn't know how to drive when I came here. And I was so frustrated. I wish I knew I could have done driving while back in Kenya. But thank God, my husband is the one who trained me how to drive. I will give you a story later about my driving and why I decided now enough is enough. I have to do this. I will give you a story another day. Okay. Some hosts are God sent. Some hosts are God sent. I have a friend. I have many friends. I have a friend. This friend got a host from these groups I'm telling you. He posted there and he got a host. This host is a God sent. You can imagine this host hosted a family of 3. Okay, 3 kids and a mom and a dad, 5, a group of 5, a family of 5 actually. And he told them, you guys, stay with me. Feel free. I don't want you to move from my place and go to your own apartment. I just want you to move from my place and go to your house. I want you to buy a house. Not an apartment, a house. Some hosts are so good. And the host supported this family. And they worked, saving until they bought their own house. They moved from their host place to their own house. Some hosts are so good. They can support you with their whole heart, with everything they have. And remember, it's not their relative. They have not met before. They just met on Facebook, and that is it. Some hosts are so good. Another thing to note. It is not so rosy at your hosts. I have said some hosts are God sent. Some hosts are now opposite. It is not so rosy at your host, but it is what it is. You need a host. You can ask yourself how I have said that it is not so rosy. Now, we are all Africans. You have a family, extended family, and wherever. You can imagine your own brothers or your own sister. You normally collide. Is it collide or collide? Whatever. You normally collide. Stop this. You normally fight with your blood brothers and sisters. Now, you can imagine living with your host, you have to collide. These things are normal. So, colliding with your host is normal. Misunderstanding, it's normal. That's why I'm saying it is not so rosy. I have to tell you as it is. Don't think you'll be laughing with your host from Monday to Sunday. There have to be misunderstandings between you. Even in a family, a husband and a wife, they fight every time. There is misunderstandings between people. Even you and your host, there will be misunderstandings. That's why I said it is not so rosy at your host. So prepare for that. But even when you have those misunderstandings, you have to settle them. Because we are not angels. The hosts are not angels. Yourself, you are not an angel. So you have to sit down and settle the misunderstandings. Misunderstandings will be there. You have to sit down as mature people and settle the misunderstandings. Okay? And I have said no one is perfect. Maybe you are on the wrong. Maybe the host on the wrong. You are in the host place. So you have to just keep quiet and humble yourself. At least you have a shelter. You have a shelter. But misunderstanding will be there. Some big misunderstandings, some small misunderstandings. Okay? We are people. We are people. We have to do this. You have to be hosted for you to stand on your feet. And that's why I said, don't stay at your host for long. If you see some misunderstandings, you do the necessary. Go to your apartment and start life as early as possible. I have said when I started, some hosts are God sent and some are not. And majority are not. I have to be frank with you guys. I don't want to tell you lies. Not all hosts are God sent. So, be at your host place for a short time as possible. That's why I normally say save as much money as you can. Once you process your visas and you come here, please don't come here empty-handed. You just come here with something. I can't tell you how much. Just come here with something. As you work for a month or two, and you move to your own apartment. Because this misunderstanding at your host place, you feel so vulnerable, you feel so hopeless. Some even contemplate going back to Kenya and start afresh. Yes. Let me give you an example, and I know that person will watch this video and he will be a witness. There is one family in one state which was hosted by another family. They developed a misunderstanding. Okay? As I told you, we are not angels. The hosts are not angels too. So, misunderstanding will be there. But I don't know. When I normally, and I just told you this, the address, your host address, is the one that your green card will be mailed to in your social. So these people, the host and the guest, they were in a point, they were not talking. You can imagine you are in a host place and you are not talking. That is the worst. That is the worst scenario ever. So when the green card came, the host didn't tell them because they are not talking. And the host is the one who has a key to the mailbox. He didn't tell them. And those people, they were so I just even can't imagine someone holding your green card and he's not talking to you. You are in his place. That is the worst. And imagine this person is not those I have told you you search on the Facebook groups, is someone they know from back home. So when you are just doing this, put God first. I normally tell you put God first. Let God guide you. Let God guide you. I know this topic, it will give you more information, but I normally tell you things as they are for you not to come here and get shocked. Okay? That is something that happened to a family. I know. They had to apply for another green card and they paid again. I don't know if they paid again or what happened. But not all people are good and not all people are bad. The same thing with us guests. Not all guests are good and not all guests are bad. But I gave you a disclaimer, not a disclaimer. Come here with something and stay with your host for a short time as possible. For a short time as possible. Okay? You get a host from those groups. Come here with something. Be with your host for the shortest time as possible. If you see this host is not, you just live in peace. Okay? Okay? Yeah, things are not so rosy at your host, but some hosts are God sent. Everything we do, let's pray. Put God first to guide your ways. Okay? And to show you the right way to go. God can't bless you, come to the United States, and then leave you. You just be with God wherever you are, whatever you do. Start praying for your host right now. Even if you don't know him, pray for your host right now. Even before you know if you are selected, start praying for your hosts. Yes, prayer works. Prayer works. Okay? I know this topic for today, it is good, it is informative, and at the same time, it has instilled fear in some of you. But that is the truth. That is the truth. The good side and then the bad side. Okay? Yeah. Just know that is how it is. Everyone has to be hosted. A host is a must. A host is a must. Even your host was hosted by another person. Everyone here was hosted by another person. So we all pass through our host's house or apartment or whatever. Everyone here was hosted by another person. Everyone here was hosted. So you have to be hosted too. You just come here prepared that you be with your host for the shortest time possible and start life on your own. Soon, maybe you can stay with your host for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months, 2 years, 3 years, as long as you want. It's up to you. Okay? Okay? I hope you have understood this thing. I don't think I left anything. Remember, now this is the good side of it. This is the good side of it. You are coming as a guest. You will be hosted. But in 2, 3, 4 years' time, you will be a host to someone. You too, you are a potential host. Okay, my potential hosts. I wish I gave you a good information on hosts. And please, don't tell me to host you. I can't accommodate all of you here. Okay? Yeah, I have seen people telling me, Shiko, can you host me? Can you host me? Can you host me? Look for your host in those groups. And you will get a God-sent host. I wish you well. I wish you will get a good host. I wish you well. Pray for your host. Remember to pray for your host now. Start praying for your host now. Our God is good. He will give you a good host. I love you guys. If you are new here, subscribe to this channel. Share this video. Comment below. Let me know you learned something. Let me know you learned something. I thank you for being here. I thank you for supporting me. I thank you for sharing this video. I love you. Until next week. Until next week. My name is Shiko Hope. Until next week. Bye-bye.